So here we're here with Don Charles at the Chisora Fury 2 press conference. It's a bit like deja vu. Do you just want to tell us what happened in that final week building up to the last fight?
It's well documented. I've done numerous interviews after that. Sud's Law, everything was going really well. We'd completed over, to be precise, 102 rounds prior to the injury. And on the last day of sparring, in the second round of that session, Derck pulled up in agony and against Ustinov it was. And we want to know at that time, we knew he was in agony. We didn't know to the extent of the damage to following. In fact, the injury happened on Friday. Yes, and the scan was not till the Monday of that week, the next week. So we discovered through the scan, X-ray, that it was a fracture. Hence why pulled out of the fight, to everybody's disappointment.
And how have preparations been going in the build up to this? We're 8 weeks away from the fight. How's Derck doing in the gym at the moment? Is he using the hand again, or
not that very hand? Obviously, he's got two hands, so we've been doing the right, as in using the right hand and working on a lot of other things. Because these guys, including Tyson Fury, Derck, prior to the injury, they'd put a lot of hours and rounds. It hasn't all gone to waste. It's still in the system. Although we didn't have the fight, all that training was still in the system. So when we discovered we couldn't fight, I gave Derck 3 weeks off from the gym, because the worst thing you could do is to have not stopped training, because you'll burn out, So he had his time off, and during that time is to look after his weight, not to exceed the permitted weight allowance. Back in training and just working on other things. It's funny when things happen. Obviously, you feel that it's the end of the world, but in hindsight, we're doing a lot more than we wouldn't have otherwise done if you had two hands. Now we have to rely on practicing with one hand and developing new things. So by the time his left hand is healed, the right hand is going to be beautiful.
No, definitely. And how long is it going to be till the left hand is fully healed?
Well, I believe he's got another X-ray next week to determine whether it's a fracture, double fracture, to determine whether the fracture has bonded, and provided we get permission from the specialist saying yes, you can now make physical contact with it, then we'll start punching with it. It's not going to be a problem. If it was the power hand, then you might have a bit more problem that you can't throw power shots. But because it's a jabbing hand, isn't it, and a hooking hand. Let's not forget the hook and the uppercuts. Now, seriously, provided we get it all clear, or Derck gets it all clear, then we'll bring it back into play. We've just got enough time to be able to bring it back in and do what's necessary.
And you mentioned Ustinov there. You brought him in for sparring last time. He was a big lad. We all saw him in the build-up to what was going to be Ustinov Fury, which didn't happen. Are you going to be bringing Ustinov back, or are you looking at people of a similar height, similar build to Ustinov?
Yeah. Well, without giving too much away, it's a yes or no. Probably not.
And Tyson, there was a lot of tension in the build-up to the last fight at some of the press conferences. We see Tyson today with tape around the mouth. Derrick's been fined a few times in the past. What do you make of the British Boxing Board of Control and the fine they've given Tyson?
Yeah, listen, it's not in my. I'm not in position to. What can you say? I mean, the board are there to officiate. The board are there to govern. That's what they're there for. So they have to impose what penalty they see feel fit for supposedly what's the offence that's been committed. We've been there. I haven't got a short memory. Derck Chisora, my fighter, has also been through what Tyson's currently going through. Derrick's been fined in the past. Derrick's been banned in the past. It's not just a fine; he's been banned. So we've been there. So Tyson coming in with the tape, maybe that's the best. Yeah, you know what? I think it's quite comical. But I see his point because he has a tendency to let his mouth run wild. So yeah, I think it's it's a sensible thing for him to, as funny as it may appear, but it's actually a very sensible thing to do.
And of course, the first fight was supposed to be in Manchester. This fight's down in London. Do you think that will have an advantage for Derek being a London-based fighter?
We've always said, it doesn't matter where the fight is based. You know, as long as it's a boxing ring and a referee, that's all we. Manchester, London, it doesn't matter. You know, of course we're happy it's in London. You know, we live in London. When it was in Manchester, we were equally as happy. It doesn't matter. It's a boxing ring, boxing fight.
And how do you see the fight going? Do you think it'll be ended in the distance?
Yeah. Prior to the David Hay fight, I predicted as a trend from where I was viewing it from, somebody was going to get stopped. I was hoping it wasn't us, but in that case, it was us that got stopped. Derek got stopped. This fight, I predict the same thing. This fight is not going the distance. Somebody's going to get stopped, and I believe it will not be us.
Yeah. Which round, if you had to pick? Late rounds?
Listen, we'll take any round. Yeah, we'll take whether it's the first round or the 12th. We'll take any round.
Oh, that's great, Dom. Thank you so much as always.
Always a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.